Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Mohammad Shuaib. As you all know, I have cracked AIIMS CRE with All India 4th rank and also have cracked RRB Dietitian Exam and got selected for the post in Chandigarh. But I'm not going to opt for that as I have already joined in Tripans as a demonstration professor. And in this is a part 3 of our marathon series. In this, I will be going through some questions and I will also be explaining in detail regarding the topics in that, and we'll try to cover maximum topics in this. This lecture will be very helpful for you to crack these upcoming AIIMS CRE exams. In this video, I will be showing you the tricks and what you can use it when you don't know the answer, and by that itself you will get a lot of questions correct. So let's get into the video. First question: which organelle is responsible for protein synthesis in the cell? Mitochondria, ribosomes, lysosomes, Golgi apparatus. So if you don't know the answer, first eliminate the options. Mitochondria, it's very easy answer that everyone knows it is a powerhouse of the cell. Okay, so this is not the answer. And lysosome is a scavengers. We call it as scavengers. It will scavenge the useless particles and swallow it and do the phagocytosis. Like it is a dumping site. Usually considered as dumping site of the cell. This is also not the answer. And Golgi apparatus is a packaging body where the protein is packed here. So is also not the answer here. So the answer will be B. Ribosomes. Ribosomes are the organelles which will be helpful in protein synthesis. Okay, regarding this, I have detailedly mentioned in my notes. You can just go to the introduction to human functions. So you have clearly mentioned the cell and the organelles. Yeah. So the ribosomes will be present in the rough endoplasmic reticulum. So as you can see here, ribosomes. Ribosomes synthesize and modify the protein and plays a role in detecting problems in the protein synthesis. Okay, I have clearly mentioned here. You can go through it once. It will be very easy for you. And Golgi apparatus, its main function is to package the protein for the secretion. Okay, Golgi apparatus work is. So you go through it once. It will be very easy to understand. So lysosomes, as I told you, it is a it is a dumping site. You can call it a dumping site, or it acts in a digestive system function, breaks down the waste pathogens and acidic enzymes in that. And lysosomes contain hydrolytic enzymes that digest macromolecules, all cell parts, and microorganisms. They break down to nucleic acid proteins and polysaccharides. Lysosomes are involved in the endocytosis, autophagocytosis, and phagocytosis. Phagocytosis in the sense, this is the cell. Imagine there is a death cell or a waste cell. This lysosomes engulf this cell into it and digest it. So this is called phagocytosis. Okay, this is how actually the lysosome works. Okay, I have clearly mentioned what is the cytoskeleton and macrotubules. You just go through it once. And if you want these notes, and you can pay $8.99 to this QR code. And after the payment, send this screenshot to this number, and our team will be responding with you. In this, you will get the notes, and which I used to crack both AIIMS and RRB in my first attempt with the top 5 rank. So it will be very helpful for you guys, and together with this you will get 5,000 questions, MCQ questions to practice. Okay, by this itself you will get majority of the questions from the in these 5,000 questions you will get majority of the questions in the exam, and all the best for your exams. Let's continue the video. Question number 2: which hormone regulates calcium levels in the blood? Insulin, parathyroid hormone, thyroxine, cortisol. Regarding this, I have very detailedly mentioned, explained in my part 1 of my marathon series. You can just go through it and come here. In that, I have explained how the calcium, actually the parathyroid hormones works in vitamin D absorption and calcium regulations. Everything detailed I have mentioned in my part 1 series, but here I will go through briefly. See, whenever there is a calcium or vitamin D regulations, there will be always be a hormone which is included, that is called parathyroid hormone, which is released by parathyroid gland. These parathyroid hormones, if they detect there is low calcium levels in the body, it triggers the kidneys to produce a lot of vitamin D. To that lot of vitamin D, active form of vitamin D, triggers the bone to release the calcium into the blood, and it will absorb from the gut and every part of the body, where it can raises the calcium levels to the normal range. If the calcium levels is high, then also it triggers the parathyroid hormone to stop the activated vitamin D levels in the kidneys, and it will bring down the calcium levels. That's how it will maintain the equilibrium. Parathyroid hormone is a very important regulator when it comes to calcium and vitamin D levels. Question number 3. The primary function of platelets in blood is oxygen transport, blood clotting, fighting infections, hormone transport. First, eliminate the options. Oxygen transport is a work of red blood cells, RBCs. Okay, and fighting infection is a work of antibodies, and hormone transport is a work of blood. So usually the hormones travels to the blood, and endocrine system, which releases the hormone directly to the particular site, okay, which is called endocrine system. And there is one more option, that is a easy one, that is blood clotting. Always remember, platelets helps in blood clotting. Okay, suppose this is the wound. Whenever there is a wound, first platelet rushes here and it covers the wound. In this, in the presence of calcium, in the presence of vitamin K, it will form a fibrinogens, like a fiber-like structure, and fill this wound. Okay, that's how actually the wound clotting and wound healing happens. So blood clotting, platelets always helps in blood clotting. Question number 4. Which of the following is not part of respiratory system? Trachea, bronchioles, nephron, alveoli. This is also a very basic question. Okay, trachea, bronchioles and alveoli is a part for respiratory system. Okay, then there is only one part that is remaining, nephron. Nephron is not the part of respiratory system. And regarding the detail of nephron, I have very detailedly explained on my past videos of my marathon series. If you want to know detail about the nephron, just go and watch it there. I have clearly mentioned where the 100% of glucose will be absorbed, which part of the nephron is very important to know, and everything I have clearly mentioned there. And for that also you can refer the notes which I provide. It will be very easy. Question number 5. Which blood type O has A antigen on the surface, B antigen on the surface, no A or B antigen, both A and B antigen? First understand what is the A antigen, B antigen and AB antigen. If there is a blood molecule and they contains A antigen attached to the blood molecule, then it is called A plus A blood group. And if it has a B molecule attached to the blood, then it has B blood group. Okay, and if there is no and if there is both A and B antigens are attached to the blood, then it is called AB blood group. Okay, and if there is no A or B antigen attached to the blood molecule, then it is called O molecule, O blood group. Okay, so only we call it as O is a universal donor. Okay, we just need to add some antigen to convert into the other blood group. So O blood group can be donated to all individuals, like it is called universal donor. So the answer will be C. No A or B antigen will be there in the O blood type. So the answer will be C. Question number 6. The vitamin that functions as a coenzyme in enzyme metabolism is vitamin C, vitamin thiamine B1, vitamin K, vitamin A. So always remember, if there is functions of coenzyme in the energy production, energy metabolism, and they mention the vitamins which helps in energy metabolisms are always B complex vitamins. Always remember B complex vitamin. And especially in the when it comes to energy metabolism, there is always B1 vitamin which deals with this and provides a lot of energy. Regarding this water molecule B complex vitamins, I have detailedly mentioned in the notes. I will just go through it now. You can just go into the nutrient controls. Sorry, you can go into the advanced nutrition PDF. Yeah, I've clearly mentioned what is water soluble vitamin and what is B complex, everything. The thymine is called thymine pyrophosphate, and it helps in carbohydrate metabolism, coenzyme for pyruvate dehydrogenase, alpha keto glutarate dehydrogenase. Everything I've detailedly mentioned it, very easy to understand. And deficiency causes beriberi, okay, peripheral neuropathy, edema, everything. And vitamin B2 is called as riboflavin. Always remember, if there is riboflavin, there will be chiliosis. Chiliosis in the sense there is a crack on the lips, which causes due to the riboflavin deficiency. If you have what we call there is some rashes on the tongue, or there is some infection on the tongue, or if there is dry lips, then it is called then it is related to the riboflavin deficiency. So always remember, I have clearly mentioned here everything. You can just go through it once, it's very easy. Riboflavin is also called as FAD, flavin adenine dinucleotide, and also called as FME, flavin adenine mononucleotide. Okay, I think I have not mentioned here. Okay, and deficiency, you can get this chiliosis, which is called cracked lips, and glossitis, which is magneted tongue. There is a small patches on the tongue which causes pain when you eat a little bit spicy items, and dermatitis and angulostomatosis. Everything I have clearly mentioned here. Then comes the vitamin B3. B3 about regarding this B3 I have detailedly explained in past videos. It is very important. Many questions will form in from this B3 vitamin, because B3 causes 3 Ds. Okay, 3 Ds. 3 Ds in the sense dermatitis, dementia, diarrhea. Okay, these are the 3 Ds. Always remember, if it is 3 Ds related to the pellagra. Okay, always remember pellagra is very important. Pellagra is related to the 3 Ds. 3 Ds in the sense dermatitis, dementia, diarrhea. And if they ask 4 Ds, then add it: dermatitis, dementia, and diarrhea, and death. Only death part is added when it comes to 4 Ds. Okay, always remember, it's very important question. And always read the B3 vitamin. Many questions will be forming from this B3. Always remember what is the coenzyme of the B3. It is NAD plus, NADP plus. Okay, remember this is very important, and it helps in DNA synthesis of DNA repair, synthesis of steroid hormones, everything. So I have clearly mentioned here 4 Ds and 3 Ds. Okay, you can just go to dermatitis, diarrhea, dementia, death. Also, if they ask 3 Ds, then dementia, dermatitis, diarrhea, and dementia. It's like very short. It will be very easy for you to remember. Then comes the vitamin B5. Vitamin B5 is pantothenic acid. Okay, it is always remember the coenzyme for this pantothenic acid is coenzyme A, CoA. Wherever there is a CoA, then it is called B5 vitamin, which is called pantothenic acid. Okay, always remember, it plays major role in fatty acid synthesis. I can see here fatty acid synthesis and oxidation. Okay, it will help in acetyl CoA cycle and helps to produce energy. It's very important. And there is one more very major important vitamin, that is called vitamin B6 pyridoxine. It will be helpful in protein synthesis. Okay, protein synthesis. Okay, always remember transamination or deamination. Where there is amination, where there is a word called amination, always remember it is linked to B6 vitamin. I think I have mentioned here. B6 is nothing but pyridyl phosphate, PLP, and it helps in amino acid metabolism, transamination, deamination. Okay, always remember, it is very important. They will ask what is the vitamin related to transamination. Then always remember it is B6 vitamin. Okay, wherever it is related to the protein, then always remember it is for B6 vitamin. And I have also explained here what is neurotransmitter synthesis. It will helpful in the neurotransmitter synthesis, serotonin, dopamine, GABA, and hemoglobin production. Everything very detailedly I have mentioned it. Go through it once, it will be very easy for you guys to understand. Okay, on next vitamin is vitamin B7, biotin. Biotin, always remember, if there is a word called carboxylation reaction, then there will be either vitamin B7, which is called biotin, or vitamin K. sorry, vitamin K. These two are the major nutrient which will help in carboxylation reaction. Okay, it plays major role in pyruvate carboxylase, which helps in gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis in the sense converting of energy from the non-carbohydrate source. Always remember, converting energy from the non-carbohydrate source. It is a very, very important question. Okay, and it will help in amino acid metabolism. Deficiency causes hair loss, dementia, dermatitis, depression, hallucination, everything. Detail I have mentioned it. We would just go through it once. And then comes the vitamin B9, which is called folic acid. Folate, it is very, very important. Folate is very, very important in the pregnancy case. Okay, always remember, pregnancy case, it plays a major role. It will prevent spina bifida. Spina bifida. Spina bifida is a major condition in a child, unborn child. Okay, where it causes backbone deformities. Okay, backbone deformities, or there will be gaps in the bone, backbone. There will be gaps here, which will lead to swelling. Okay, many cases will be happening due to the folic acid deficiency. Okay, it will help in RNA synthesis and DNA synthesis. It's very, very important for you guys. Okay, always remember, if there is deficiency of B9, it is called megaloblastic anemia. Okay, megaloblastic anemia. So I have mentioned here neural tip defects in fetus, spina bifida. I have clearly mentioned here. Just go through it. It's very, very important. And always remember the coenzyme or active form of vitamin B9. It is called tetrahydrofoliate, THF. They will ask the question, what is called THF? Okay, always remember this word. It is called tetrahydrofoliate. They won't ask tetrahydrofoliate in some cases. If they ask only THF, always remember THF is tetrahydrofoliate. For this you need to practice a lot. Then only you will get the answers. Then only you will get the question and you will answer it properly. Okay. For the energy metabolism, always remember there is one major nutrient which is called vitamin B1, which will be helpful in the energy production. So the answer will be B. Vitamin B1. Okay, always remember, if there is a deficiency of B1 due to the alcoholism, I mentioned it here. See, if there is a person is consuming, if person is a regular addiction for the alcohol, then he will get the syndrome called Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. It is very, very important, very, very important. They will ask questions from this. Okay, what is Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome? Is caused due to thiamine deficiency. Okay, why it is caused due to the alcoholism? This condition is related to ataxia, confusion, eye movements, etc. Okay, abnormalities, everything will be related to the Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. Very, very important. I have clearly mentioned it. Go through it once. Question number 7. Which mineral is most important for the oxygen transport in the blood? Magnesium, iron, zinc, sodium. So it is very, very easy question. But here, if you see the options, sometimes you will get confused. Why? Because oxygen transport is done by the hemoglobin Hb. Okay, and then why they have asked only magnesium, iron, zinc, and sodium? If you just correlate it, Hb levels are increased by consuming the iron. So iron present in the hemoglobin, which will help for the oxygen carried. So the answer will be iron. Always remember. In the exam we will be having less time, and upon that we will be having the pressure to answer it, and in this case we will do lot of mistakes. To avoid this, always read the question properly, then answer the answer. Okay, and one more thing, AIIMS doesn't ask you difficult question, it will ask you tricky questions. That's all. Okay, as far as from my experience, AIIMS doesn't ask difficult questions. It's not too difficult. It will ask you the tricky questions where you make questions wrong, where you answer the question wrong. Then only it will feel difficult. For example, let me give an example for you. And if they ask what is the normal recommended range for the what is the WHO guidelines for the salt, and what if the question asks what is the normal requirement guidelines according to WHO for salt? Okay, and I will give mention options like 2.5 grams, 2 grams, 3 grams, and 5 grams. Okay, I know most of the time, most of the people, 90% of the people will just go and tick for the 2.5 grams. Okay, this is how you made a mistake here. They have asked What is the WHO recommendation for the salt? Okay, salt. They have not asked for the sodium. If they have asked for the sodium, then you can go for the 2.5 grams, which will be normal range. And they have asked for the salt. Salt, in the sense, the normal WHO requirement for the salt is 5 grams. This is the correct answer. This is how the small tricky questions they will ask in the AIIMS, and where you will get lot of confusion, and you will just go, okay, you feel like what is the normal requirement for the WHO guidance for the salt. You just see it, or 2.5 gram, it is the answer, then you will tick it and be confident that you will get answer correct. But actually it is wrong answer. They have not asked about the sodium. They have asked about the salt. So always remember, this is how you need to find the question, understand the question, then only answer the answer. This is how the AIIMS will ask tricky questions. The questions will be easy itself, but the way they ask, it will be tricky, very tricky. That's where you will do a lot of mistakes. Why? Because we have only 90 minutes to attend, and the two will have 5 sets to attend. So we'll be so tensed to attend it fast. For that reason, always read the question properly, understand the question, then only attempt the answer. If you don't know the answer, just tick the answer which is long. This is my trick. If you really don't know the answer, first try to eliminate the options. Even though if after eliminating the options you are not getting the answer, just tick a long answer which justifies the question. Just tick it. Most of the time, 90% of the time, it will be correct. So that's how I followed. You can also do that same. Okay, let's come back to the class. Question number 8. The main source of non-heme iron in the diet is red meat, legumes, chicken, fish. So always remember, non-heme is present in plants. Heme iron, charging is done.
2,000 years later.
So first you have to know what is non-heme iron and heme iron. Non-heme iron is present in plants and heme iron is present in animal source. Okay, plant-based non-heme iron has only 5% of digestibility, even sometimes very less. In animal source, there is a 90% of bioavailability, 90% will be more. So 90% of the heme iron will be absorbed in the body. So we usually prefer heme iron, which is very good actually to increase blood levels. And here they have asked what is source of non-heme iron. Always remember, the plant-based source is the non-heme iron source. So as you can see here, red meat is a non-veg which is very abundant in iron source, and chicken is also not the non-heme iron source. Fish is also not the non-heme iron source. Only legumes are the non-heme iron source. So the answer will be B. Like this, you need to eliminate the option, then only you can answer the answer. Question number 9. Which fatty acid is considered essential due to its role in preventing inflammation? Palmitic acid, linoleic acid, omega-3, folic acid, stearic acid. So about omega-3, omega-6, omega-9, I have very detailedly explained in my part 1 of my marathon series. Go back and check the video. It will be very helpful for you guys. I have detailedly covered omega-3, omega-6, omega-9. So always remember, when there is a word called inflammation, omega-3 always reduces the inflammation. A lot of omega-6 can increase the inflammation. To balance it out, if there is lot of omega-6, if suppose there is a 5 omega-6, we need at least 1 omega-3 to balance the inflammation levels. Okay, that's how we need to balance it out. If they ask what is the ratio of omega-6 to the omega-3, okay, always remember that is 4:1. Okay, this is very important. I have detailedly mentioned in my series of marathon series. You can just go and watch it. It will be very easy. So yeah, here the answer will be B. Linoleic acid, omega-3 helps in reducing the inflammation. Okay, it's very easy answer. You can just go and watch my part 1 of my series. It will be very easy. I have very clearly explained what is omega-3, omega-6, omega-9 and how you need to identify them. It's very clear. You can just go through and see it once. Question number 10. Which vitamin B12 is primarily absorbed in duodenum, jejunum, ileum, stomach? So always remember, for vitamin B12 absorption, we need intrinsic factor. Okay, intrinsic factor. These intrinsic factors is released in the stomach, which digests the vitamin B12. Okay, always remember, if they ask where is the initial digestion of vitamin B12 occurs, then it occurs in the stomach. Okay, final absorption will be occurred in the ileum. Majority of the vitamin B12 is absorbed in the ileum part of the digestive system. So the answer will be C. Duodenum will not absorb vitamin B12. Jejunum is also will not absorb in vitamin B12. Stomach, it helps in initial breakdown but not the absorption. Here they ask the absorption. If they ask where it starts getting digested, then it is called stomach. So the answer will be C, ileum. Ileum helps, ileum is a major part where the vitamin B12 will be absorbed. Question number 11. The primary function of carbohydrate in the body is to, it's very easy question. Build tissues, provide energy, regulate body temperature, transport oxygen. Always remember, carbohydrate provides energy. So the answer will be B, provide energy. Sometimes there will be very easy questions. Just you need to just stick it out. You will be shocked that AIIMS actually ask like these questions. It will be very easy. Some only in between they will ask some tricky questions where you will get a lot of confused and your confidence will go down and you will think every question is difficult and you just do wrong questions multiple times. So that's how they trick the mind. Question number 12. A lacto-vegetarian diet excludes milk and milk product, eggs and meat, all animal products, fish and poultry only. So if you know what is vegetarian, pure vegetarian diet doesn't use any animal kind of products. So they are called non-veg. I mean veg. Non-vegetarian people, it's both animal product and plant product. Here it comes a lacto-vegetarian diet. Lacto in the sense lactose, which is called milk. They consume milk, but they avoid all other animal sources. So here the answer will be milk and milk products. Okay, a lacto-vegetarian diet excludes. Sorry, this is the wrong answer. I think there is something wrong in this question. Eliminate this question. Okay, there is something wrong here. Okay, next question. Question number 13. The acceptable macronutrient distribution range AMDR for protein is approximately. Always remember what is AMDR. It's nothing but RDA itself. Nothing but the requirement, the regular requirement. That's the main thing. The distribution of macronutrients. Okay. They have asked the distribution of protein. So protein usually distributed 10 to 35% of the total calories. So the answer will be A. Okay. Majority 45 to 65% is dedicated for the carbohydrate and 20 to 35% is for the fat. Remaining 10 to 35% will be the for protein. That's how you need to eliminate the options, then tick the answer. Question number 14. Which of the following is a good source of complete protein in a vegetarian diet? So always remember, what is complete protein in the sense all essential amino acids, 20 amino acids is present in a single source is called complete protein. If there is any one or two essential amino acids are missing, then it is called incomplete protein. So the answer will be lentils has incomplete protein. It doesn't has a total total amino profile. Wheat doesn't has total amino profile, and corn is also doesn't have total amino profile. So the answer will be soybean has a amino profile. Okay, always remember why soybeans is considered as complete protein. Apart from this, always remember there is one score called PDDS score, protein digestibility distribution score. I have explained in my advanced nutrition PDF. You can just go to the advanced nutrition PDF. Go down. Yeah, you can see here what is PDCAAS score. Okay, it is nothing but protein digestibility corrected amino acid score. What this is means is consider a protein. Suppose egg is considered as number 1 means it has complete protein. If the number is coming closer to 1, less than 1, and coming closer to 1, it is has almost similar complete protein. If the number is less than 1 like 0 0.5, 0 0.6, 0 0.3, then it is called incomplete protein. If it is comes near the 1 number 0 0.9, it is very near to that, Then the soya contains this number 0.9, almost similar to complete protein but not totally complete protein. That's how it is called pediatric, protein digestibility corrected amino acids code, which contains as 1. 1 is a base. Okay, so I have clearly mentioned here what is that. See here, you can see 0 to 1 means 0 to 100%. 1 means protein is complete and fully digestible, provide all essential amino acid adequate. Okay, and here I have explained what is importance and limitations. Very in detail I have explained this. And there is one more topic called nitrogen to the protein conservation factor. So there is a number which is called 6.25. It is a standard conversion factor for the nitrogen content in the protein. The amount of nitrogen it is producing from the protein, it is counted in this number 6.25. If the nitrogen profile is reaching that, it is a complete protein. Mostly used factors. And if there is less nitrogen content, then the number will be less than 6.25. Then it has less nitrogen in that protein. Okay, I have clearly mentioned here. You can see here the most commonly used factor is 6.25, which assumes the protein contains about 16% of nitrogen. 100 divided by 16 is called 6.25. This is how you will find the nitrogen content in the protein. Okay, and limitations of protein, I have detailedly explained it. You just go through it once, you will be sorted out. It will be very easy for you guys. And if you have lot of complete protein now, you will have this score 6.25 from the complete source, from the egg, from the milk. Okay, it has complete source, so you will get nitrogen of 6.25, which is 16% of nitrogen levels in the food. And if you consume some plant protein, it contains 5.7, less than complete protein, so it is incomplete. The nitrogen levels are less. It comes under mostly 15% or 14%. Okay, in total 100% of nitrogen levels. So these questions also will be formed in the exam. Go through it once, it will be very easy for you to understand. I have given the differences here. It will be very easy and it is very important topic. Question number 15. The primary reason fiber is important in diet includes provide energy, enhance digestion and bowel movement, increase blood cholesterol, building muscle. So these are the very basic question. Always remember fiber helps in digestion. So the answer will be B. And also remember fiber helps in reducing the blood cholesterol. Okay, reducing the blood cholesterol. Always remember which fiber helps in reducing blood cholesterol, which is soluble fiber. Okay, soluble fiber helps in reducing cholesterol. Remember that. If they ask which fiber reduces the cholesterol levels in the body, the soluble fiber helps to reduce cholesterol. By binding, this soluble fiber will form the ligands. Ligands will bind the bile acid and it forms inhibit. It will inhibit the protein carrier, because for the fat now we need a layer of protein which is provided by the bile, which convert it into the apolipoprotein. Then only it will transfer for the blood and it will pass through the lymphatic system and enters into the liver. If there is no bile, if they inhibit the bile itself, then automatically the fat will be excreted from the stool. So that's how the cholesterol will be going down. So by just increasing the fiber level, you will get this benefit. Okay, this is how you need to eliminate the option and get the answers. Question number 16. The process of gluconeogenesis primarily occurs in kidney, liver, pancreas, muscles. So always remember, gluconeogenesis always occurs in the liver. Okay, gluconeogenesis in the sense a production of energy from non-carbohydrate source, either from the fat, either from the protein. Okay, non-carbohydrate, it will enter into the gluconeogenesis reverse cycle and pass through the reverse cycle, and it forms the glucose molecule. This is a very good topic. It is a very in-depth. Right now we have less time, so I am not going in detail. Always remember gluconeogenesis occurs in the liver. Okay, in the liver it converts non-carbohydrate source into the energy and for the survival. So the answer will be B, liver. Okay, the answer will be B. Question number 17. Which vitamin acts as an antioxidant protecting lipids in cell membrane? Vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin K. Always remember, if there is antioxidant and together in the answer there is vitamin E, always go for the vitamin E. Why? Because vitamin E is a strong potent antioxidant. It is a number one antioxidant we have. Always remember, if there is antioxidant and in the option they mention vitamin E, then the answer will be vitamin E. Vitamin C is also antioxidant, but it's not too potent antioxidant compared to vitamin E. In vitamin E, there are a lot of types: alpha tocopherol, alpha tocosterol, beta tocopherol, gamma tocopherol. Everything we have a lot of topics in that. Will explain in my future videos regarding the vitamin E in detail. Right now, you remember vitamin E is called as tocopherol. It is very important. They will ask what is the name of vitamin E, then it is called tocopherol. If they ask what is the tocopherol in vitamins, it is called vitamin E. Always remember, antioxidant always related to vitamin E. It is a strong potent antioxidant. Question number 18. Which enzyme digests triglycerides in the small intestine? Amylase, lipids, lipase, peptidase, lactase. So always remember, triglycerides in the sense fatty acid molecules. Here there is one glycerol molecule. To the glycerol molecule there is 3 fatty acids connected. That's why it is called 3 triglycerides. Triglycerides in the sense 3 fatty acid molecules are connected to the glycerol molecule. So that is called fatty acid. They will ask, they may ask this question also, how many molecules are present in the triglyceride? Why it is called triglyceride? They will mention 1 glycerol, 3 fatty acid. Then that is the answer. Okay, when it is entering into the gluconeogenesis, it will break it and the fatty acid goes into oxidation in the beta oxidation cycle, and the glycerol goes into the gluconeogenesis to energy production. So that's how it will be a very deep topic. It is a very big class can be taken on this, but right now I'm not going in depth. In the future videos I will be going very deep, and we can slowly solve every chapter, and for the next year exam we will prepare very well. So all the best. So here the answer will be B, lipase. Always remember, lipase helps in the fat digestion. Question number 19. The Krebs cycle occurs in cytoplasm, mitochondrial matrix, nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum. Always remember, the Krebs cycle always occurs in the mitochondrial matrix. Very, very, very important. And glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm. Okay. Here the glycolysis occur, 2 types of glycolysis will be occurring. In the presence of oxygen, it is called aerobic. In the absence of oxygen, anaerobic. Okay, in the presence of oxygen, it produces pyruvate. In the absence of oxygen, it produces lactate. Always remember, it is very, very important. They will ask what is the end product or in anaerobic glycolysis or aerobic glycolysis. You remember this: aerobic produce pyruvate, anaerobic produce lactate. So the answer will be here. Question number 20. Which amino acid is essential for infants but not for the adults? Glutamine, arginine, alanine, glycine. So here, see, alanine is not that essential in the infants. Glycine is also not essential in the infants. And glutamine, sometimes in the stress it may be essential, but here it is not the first preferred. The first preferred essential amino acids in the infant compared to adult is arginine. Okay, it's very, very, very important. Arginine, remember that arginine is essential amino acids for the infant compared to adults, but not in adults. In adults, glutamine and arginines are essential, conditionally essential, but essential. Arginine is the only amino acid which is very essential in the infants. It comes into the essential amino acids category in the infant compared to adults, and in adults now arginine comes in the conditionally essential amino acids. So always remember, arginine is essential amino acids for the infant. Question number 21. Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, is known for antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, providing dietary fibers, increasing blood cholesterol, acting as vitamin. See, this question is very, very important. This question is repeated in both AIIMS and RRB. Okay, it's very, very important. This type of questions every time I have repeated in my videos also. So the question which is repeated a lot of time, always remember it has potential to occur in the exam. Curcumin is a antioxidant present in turmeric. Turmeric, very, very important. This question is asked. And if you don't know what is curcumin, you have not studied by mistake or anything, you have not studied, just tick the answer which is long, as you can see here. antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. It is very long and it justifies this question, so always tick it. Most of the time, 90% of the time, it will be correct. I have done the trick. If I don't know the answer, I just go for the answer which is big one. I try attempting 7 questions only. Always remember, try attempting 7 questions in this trick. By chance, most of the time, 6 questions will be correct. Most of the time. If you, in case you can attempt more also, but be careful. I recommend you to attempt for 7 questions most of the time. Most of the time it will be correct. So go for that. That's what I have also followed it. I've always sticked which the question I don't know, I just stick it the question which is long. Most of the time 90% it will be correct, because it is trying to justify the answer. So only it is long. Some easy questions it will be short. So if you know the question, tick it. If you don't know, leave it. That's my suggestion for you. Question number 22. Which of the following is considered as symbiotic? Probiotic alone, prebiotic alone, combination of prebiotic and probiotic, antioxidant supplements. About the probiotic, symbiotic, I have detailedly explained in part 1 of my marathon series. You can just go and check it out. Here also, as you can see here, symbiotic in the sense the combination of both pre and pro. Prebiotic and probiotic combined forms symbiotic, where there is a living bacteria also and there are food for the bacteria also. So this answer will be C. And if you don't know the answer, just tick for the long answer. Very simple, right? So most of the time it will be correct. So as you can see here, it is trying to justify the question. So most of the time it will be correct. You can use this trick. It's very, very important. You are lucky that if you are so lucky, most of the questions will be correct. So in my case, it is very correct. In my case, every time it was correct. So you can do this trick. Question number 23. Resveratrol found in red wine is thought to benefit health by lowering blood pressure, reducing inflammation and oxidative stress, increasing vitamin absorption, preventing food allergies. Always remember, resveratrol comes in the grapes. Always remember, resveratrol comes from the grapes. Okay, always remember, it gives a red color. Okay, this is used in wine also. Okay, this is a anti-inflammatory property. It has anti-inflammatory and reducing oxidative stress properties. So the answer will be B, reducing inflammation and oxidative stress. In this case also, if you don't know the answer, tick the long answer. Most of the time it will be correct. So question number 24. Spirulina is best classified as probiotic, an algae-based nutraceutical, synthetic supplement, a carbohydrate source. Always remember, if there is word is spirulina, you can relate it to the marine source, right? Always remember, spirulina related to the marine source. So it is algae. Spirulina is algae. So here you have only one option which mentions algae. You can tick for that. In other case, you can eliminate the options. Probiotics is not the spirulina, it is a living bacteria, beneficial for the gut, is not the answer. Synthetic supplement, spirulina is not a synthetic supplement because we have not found it. The answer will be no. C is the not answer. And a carbohydrate source, it is not the carbohydrate source. So the answer will be A. So the answer will be B. And algae-based nutraceuticals. That's how you need to eliminate the option and tick it. If you even if you do eliminate the options and still you are not getting the answer, just tick it for the long answer. Question number 25. Which of this is an example of a functional food? White bread, yogurt with probiotic, table sugar, refined oil. Always remember what is functional food. Functional food means it is providing extra benefit compared to eating a food item. They're eating a food item and they are getting benefited from the food item. So that is called functional food. So white bread, it gives only carbohydrate. Table sugar, plain sugar. Refined oil doesn't have any nutrient except from the fat. So here yogurt with the probiotics. Okay, yogurt is a source and there is a probiotic which will help the gut bacteria to grow, and at the end of the day it will help in the digestion. So the answer will be B. It is doing functional work, so it is called functional foods.
Day 2, Day 3, Day 4.
Question number 26. A ketogenic diet is characterized by high carbohydrate, low fat, high fat, very low carbohydrate, high protein, moderate fat, low protein, high carbohydrate. Always remember, when there is a term called ketogenic diet, diet is a high fat diet. okay, and low carbohydrate diet. Always remember that. And regarding this ketogenic diet, I have spoke part 1 of my series. You can check it out. So ketogenic is nothing but where your body uses ketone as a fuel to survive. Okay, the ketones are produced in the liver, and it is produced from the fat, breakdown of fat. If the levels of the ketone is increased, then we call it as ketoacidosis. Okay, remember this. So the answer will be high fat, low carbohydrate diet. The answer will be B. Question number 27. Which diet is recommended for patients with the cardiovascular disease for lipid management? High saturated fat diet, Mediterranean diet, Western diet, Atkins diet. So first we'll eliminate the options first. So for in the case of cardiovascular disease, we usually give low fat diet. Okay, we'll search for that. High saturated fat, we don't provide it, so it is not the answer. Western diet is also not recommended, and Atkins diet is almost similar to the keto diet, but it's also not recommended. So here we have only one option, that is Mediterranean diet, which emphasizes fruits, fish, healthy fats, nuts, okay, etc. That is called Mediterranean diet. Mediterranean diet is a very helpful for cardiovascular diseases. So always remember, if there is a cardiovascular disease diet and they have mentioned Mediterranean diet, go for Mediterranean diet. Question number 28. For lactose intolerance, the best dairy alternative is regular milk, lactose-free milk, cream, butter. So in case of lactose intolerance, we need to avoid lactose sugar. So the answer will be lactose-free diet. B. Question number 9. High sodium intake is linked with increased risk of anemia, hypertension, diabetes, osteoporosis. First, eliminate the options. Anemia is caused due to iron deficiency, okay, no, low hemoglobin, and diabetes is caused due to sugar levels, high level of sugar in the blood, and osteoporosis is related to the bone disease, okay, due to decrease in vitamin D and calcium, okay. So the answer will be B, hypertension. Hypertension is related to the increased risk of cardiovascular disease and blood pressure. Question number 30. For managing iron deficiency anemia, the best dietary recommendation is avoid meat to reduce iron overload, increase intake of vitamin C along with iron rich food, decrease dietary protein, limit vitamin C intake. So always remember, if in case of iron deficiency anemia, it is also called as microcytic anemia. Okay, always remember, if there is iron deficiency, it is called microcytic anemia. So here, if there is iron deficiency, we provide iron-rich food, and together we provide vitamin C to enhance the absorption. This vitamin C enhance the absorption of iron in the body, which leads to increase in blood levels, I mean hemoglobin levels. So the answer will be B. Increase intake of vitamin C along with the iron-rich foods. It's a basic one. The answer will be B. Question number 31. The most appropriate dietary approach for managing metabolic syndrome is to high saturated fat intake, weight reduction and increased physical activity, high sugar intake, high alcohol consumption. Always remember, if there is word metabolic syndrome, it is related to obesity. Okay, always related to the obesity. In this case, there will be low, thyroidism, hypothyroidism, okay, and low physical activity and high amount of cardiovascular risk. Okay, here the answer will be B, weight reduction and increased physical activity. Okay, always remember, if they will ask how is the metabolic syndrome is related to, if it is always related to the obesity condition. Question number 32. Which nutrient is commonly supplemented to prevent neural tube defects during pregnancy? This is also very easy question. I have repeated this question in multiple videos. Why it is very important and why it is repeating a lot means it is asked in both AIIMS and RRB. Very important question. Okay, neural tube defect. It is caused due to deficiency of folic acid. So always remember the answer will be B. Answer is B. Question number 33. For chronic liver disease, restriction of what nutrient is often recommended? Protein, sodium, vitamin D, fiber. So in case of chronic liver disease, okay, in this chronic liver disease, there will be less amount of ammonia production, ammonia synthesis will be happening. Ammonia is converted into urea and excreted through the kidneys. Okay, in case of chronic liver disease, there is inhibition of ammonia to convert into urea, because urea is converted in the liver. If there is any kind of abnormalities, usually we'll give less protein in this case. So we usually give less protein, but here in this chronic liver disease, we need some amount of protein for regeneration. So according to the options, first eliminate the options. Fiber is not given. Okay, usually it is not restricted, and vitamin D is also not restricted. Protein is restricted if there is liver condition with encephalopathy. Okay, liver encephalopathy. If it has liver encephalopathy, hepatic encephalopathy, then only we need to restrict the protein, or else we shouldn't restrict the protein. So this is also not the answer. So the answer will be B, sodium. Why we need to restrict the sodium? Why? Because in case of liver disease, there will be a condition called ascites. Okay, this ascites is nothing but fluid storage or fluid accumulation in the liver, which is called as ascites. In presence of sodium, when there is lot of sodium, sodium attracts water and holds the water. So for this reason, we need to decrease the sodium. If there is no sodium option in the if there is no sodium in the options, if you have the protein, then go for the protein. This is a safe answer. But here they have mentioned the sodium. Sodium is a main nutrient we need to avoid in chronic liver disease due to the risk of ascites. Always remember. So protein also in some case we restrict, but until unless it is related to hepatic encephalopathy, we usually don't restrict the protein. So the answer will be B. So this is how the AIIMS will ask you the confusion question, because protein is also a answer at some level, but it's not the accurate answer. Sodium is the accurate answer. Question number 34. In hyperthyroidism, which dietary consideration is important? High calorie intake to meet increased metabolic rate, restrict iodine completely, low protein, low carbohydrate. In this hyperthyroidism, there is a hyper release of or secretion of thyroid hormone. In this case, we will not restrict iodine completely. We restrict little iodine. We provide little bit iodine compared to before. We don't restrict completely. So this is also not the answer. We don't provide low protein because it's a hyperthyroidism. There is a loss of muscle mass also, because the metabolism is more. And we don't even provide low carbohydrate. We usually provide high carbohydrate. In this hyperthyroidism, there will be severe energy requirement due to the increased metabolic rate. For this to maintain, we provide a high calorie diet and high protein diet to maintain the muscle mass and to maintain the metabolism. So the answer will be a high calorie intake to meet increased metabolic rate. So answer is A. Question number 35. For cancer cachexia, which nutrient strategy is most suitable? Low calorie diet, high energy protein diet with small frequent meals, fasting, low fat diet. In cancer cachexia, here we usually provide high energy and protein diet with small frequent meals. We need a constant supply of protein for recovery. For that reason, we provide the protein. We don't restrict it completely, we provide it. And here a low calorie diet, we usually don't provide it. Fasting also we are not recommending that. Low fat diet also is not recommended. So here the answer is big. If you don't know the answer, just stick for the longer answer which I have which I have already said to you. If you don't know the answer, go for the longest answer which you find, and this answer should be justifying the question. Then most of the time it will be correct. Question number 36. The main function of coenzyme A is to transport oxygen, transfer acetyl-CoA in the metabolism, convert glucose to fructose, synthesis DNA. About this I have just spoke in my past question. You can go back and or else you can go to the notes and read about coenzyme A. It is a pentatonic acid. Okay. Here, this coenzyme A acts as a coenzyme as a carrier in the acetyl-CoA cycle in Krebs cycle, to which transfers the acetyl group in the metabolism. So the answer will be B. The transportation of oxygen is the work of hemoglobin. So this is also not the answer. And convert glucose to fructose is a different cycle. It comes into the glycolysis. So this is also not the answer. And synthesis DNA is also not the answer. So the answer will be B. Transfer of acetyl group in the metabolism. Question number 37. The digestion of starch begins with which enzyme? This is also very basic, easy question. Everyone knows it. Okay, pepsin is a digestion is an enzyme for digestion of protein. Lipase is a enzyme digestion of for the fat, and maltase is the breakdown for the maltose sugar. So the answer will be A, salivary amylase. The salivary amylase do 5% of digestion of carbohydrate in the mouth itself. Okay. Always remember, the initial stage of digestion of the carbohydrate starts from the mouth. It starts in the presence of salivary amylase. So always remember that. It's very important. Sometimes you will get confused and you will do wrong, but it is very basic question. You can just answer it. Question number 38. Niacin, vitamin B3 deficiency causes scurvy, pellagra, beriberi, rickets. This also many times it is repeated. Why? Because it is very important question. They will ask whether it is a pellagra, or they will ask for 3Ds or 4Ds. If they ask 3Ds, then dementia, dermatitis and diarrhea. Okay, these 3Ds. If they ask 4Ds, you just need to write death at the last. The dementia, dermatitis, diarrhea. Okay, it is called 4Ds. These 4Ds or 3Ds related to pellagra. The disease pellagra is caused due to the niacin deficiency. So always remember that. The answer will be B, niacin. This scurvy is a deficiency caused due to vitamin C deficiency. If there is low level of vitamin C, the condition leads to scurvy. Scurvy is nothing but bleeding gums. And beriberi is caused due to the deficiency of B1, thymine. Thymine deficiency causes beriberi. Okay, and rickets is caused due to vitamin D deficiency. Always remember that. There will be many questions forming from this. Question number 39. Which metabolic pathway produces ketone bodies? Glycolysis, ketogenesis, gluconeogenesis, beta oxidation. So first eliminate the options. Glycolysis helps in glucose oxidation and produce pyruvate. Okay, it is not the answer. It is a glucose cycle. And gluconeogenesis is a production of glucose from non-carbohydrate source. Okay, so this is also not the answer. Beta oxidation is the oxidation of fatty acids. Okay, then this is also not the answer. So the answer will be ketogenesis. Ketogenesis is nothing but production of ketones from the fat in the liver is called ketogenesis. So it produces ketone bodies. Liver produce ketone bodies. These ketone bodies acts as fuel for the brain in absence of glucose. Okay, always remember that. It's very important. They will ask what is ketone bodies and what is ketogenesis, what is a ketogenic diet. Okay, always remember that. Question number 40. Methionine is important as a source of sulfur of methylation reaction, energy only, nucleic acid, vitamin C. If you don't know what is this, then you can just go for the longest answer which justifies the question. So the answer will be A, sulfur of methylation reaction. Okay, methionine is produced in the pineal gland. Okay, it helps in a cardiac rhythm and sleep wake cycle. Okay, so it is very important. This I have detailedly explained in part 1 of my marathon series. You can just go and watch it out. It will be very easy for you guys to understand. Question number 41. Sensitivity of a diagnostic test indicates ability to identify true negative, ability to identify true positive, the error rate, none of the above. So always remember, they have asked sensitivity of diagnostics test. So which test we usually do to find out a quick positive outcomes. So always remember, sensitive means reaction which can tap that particular disease and tells you. Sensitive in the sense positive. So always tick for that. Ability to identify true positives. So the answer will be question number 42. In a clinical trial, a double-blinded design means only participants are unaware of the intervention, only researchers are unaware of the intervention, both participants and researchers are unaware, the data analytic are unaware. So always remember, if the word comes double-blinded study, double-blinded means there will be there the participant and researcher both don't know the intervention. They both don't know that. So here double blind is two people, right? They are blinded, so they don't know about the intervention. So always remember, if there is a double blinded study, the researcher and the participant also don't know the outcomes. So the answer will be B. Both participant and researchers are unaware. Then only you can avoid bias in that. Then only you can avoid errors and you can get a proper, adequate, perfect data. So always remember that double blinded means both the researcher and the participant doesn't know the intervention. Question number 43. The measure of central tendency that is least affected by the outliers. Mean, mode, median, range. So here remember, the central tendency is nothing but mean, mode, median. These three are the central tendency. If they ask what is the central tendency and provide you one of the option is a mean or mode, then always go for mean, mode or median. That is called central tendency. This central tendency, they have asked which central tendency has the least effect on outliers. Outliers in the sense spread of data. There will be a lot of data which affects least affected in this this one. I mean mean, mode or median. So always remember, if the data is more, the data is spread a lot, then mean in sometimes it has limitations in that. So this is all the answer. Mode is nothing but a frequently occurring number. So this has also has a limitations. But median is nothing but if they have given the numbers, you need to just arrange the numbers in the ascending order 1 2 3 4 5 6, and you need to just pick the middle number. Median in the sense middle number. It has least effect on the outliers because no matter the data, they just accumulate in the ascending order and it can be picked, just pick it in the middle number. It can just take the middle number out. So it has least affected outliers compared to mean, median, mode. Mean in the sense the average of the data. We need to add all the data, all the numbers with the number of numbers and divide it, then you will get the mean. Mode in the sense the number repeating a lot of time, the same number. If there is one, it is repeating a lot, then only it is called mode. The median, it is a middle number which is not that much affected when there is a outliers. So the answer will be C, median. Okay, this is how you need to find out. Question number 44. A p-value of 0.01 indicates a 1% risk that the observer result is due to the chance, a 99% chance that the null hypothesis is true, no statistical significance, a high probability of error. In this question, last also I have explained you, if the p-value is less than 0.05, then it is called statistically significant. If the value is greater than 0.05, then it is called non-statistically significant. Here the number is 0.01, so it is statistically significant, though the answer will not be the non-statistical significance. A high probability of error, it will be no, because there is only 1.1 chance. And a 99% chance that null hypothesis is true, then it is also not the answer. If the p-value is less than 0.05, we reject the null hypothesis. If it is more than that, we accept the null hypothesis. Here the number is 0.01, so the answer will be A. A 1% risk that the observer result is due to the chance. Okay, if there is 0.05, then it is a 5% chance. Okay, is a random chance. It may be true, but it is called statistically significance. This I have detailedly explained in part 1 or part 2 of my marathon series. You can just go and you can see it once. It will be very easy. Here it will be a little bit confusing for you. They ask 0.01, but past question we have asked 0.05. Is all same. If there is less than 0.05, it is called statistically significant, and we reject the null hypothesis. If the p-value is greater than 0.05, then we accept the null hypothesis. It is called non-statistical significance. So I hope you get this point. It is very confusing, but you need to study very well. This I have detailedly explained in my notes. You can just go on, go through it once. It's very easy to understand. Question number 45. A correlation coefficient of minus 0.8 indicates strong positive correlation, strong negative correlation, weak correlation, and no correlation. So always remember this. I've clearly explained in my, I think in RRB marathon series, but here also I will clearly explain you guys. The correlation coefficient is considered as 1. Okay, it is considered as 1. Okay, remember, if the value is less than 1, then it is suppose this is a positive, right? This is a positive number, and left side is the negative values, right side will be the positive values. Okay, this is the base. You consider this is as a base. Okay, if the number is less than 1, it is trying to become a positive number. So here the number is 0.8. So it is near to the 1, and which if it reaches the 1, it will become positive, right? So it is near to the 1. If the number is more than 1, 1.5, 1.3, and it is a strong positive 1. Okay, strong positive. So that's how you need to remember. 1 mention it as a base, and if it is less than 1, 1 is considered as positive. If it reaches 1, it becomes positive. So here they have asked the correlation coefficient of 0.8 is indicates, it called minus, here called plus, right? It's simple thing, and the number is 0.08. It is near to the 1, and it is near to the positive. So the answer will be strong positive correlation. I hope you get the point. If it is less than 0.8, it is 0.5. It is weak negative. Sorry, I have made a mistake here. This is not the answer. They have mentioned the negative, right? If they have mentioned the plus 0.08, then it will be strong positive correlation. They have mentioned minus 0.08. 0.8, so it is called strong negative correlation because the number is in negative format. I made small mistake here. I will rectify it. 1 is counted as base. Less than 1, if from the left hand side it is minus number, and from the right hand side it will be plus number, right? If it is minus 0.8, it is near to the plus, it's near to the positive, so it is called strong negative correlation. Okay, if the number is more than 1, 1.5, 1.3, then it is strong positive correlation. So the answer will be B, strong negative correlation. Okay, because the number is in negative. If they ask plus 0.8, then it is near to the plus value. So it is called strong positive correlation. I hope you getting the point. Sometimes it feels difficult, but remember, this is how easily I have explained and I have understood, and I am trying to make you understand. This is the topic. This research methodology is very tricky, but you need to by heart. That's the main thing you need to do. To get this, you need to practice a lot of questions. I have clearly mentioned a lot of questions in my notes with 5,000 questions. Actually, there is more than 5,000 questions which I have provided in the drive. You can practice a lot, then you will get the answers. Question number 46. The primary indication for enteral nutrition is, this is also a very basic question. Enteral nutrition is given when the person has a functional gut. If the gut is functioning, then we usually go for the enteral nutrition. If the gut is not functioning, we usually go for the parental nutrition. Always remember, if the gut is functional, then enteral, because it maintains gut integrity. Okay, always remember gut integrity. If they ask the question which which tube feeding or nutrition maintains the gut integrity in a severely malnourished patient, then you go for the enteral nutrition. It maintains the gut integrity. So if the gut is functioning, go for the enteral nutrition. If the gut is not functioning, then go for the parental nutrition. Here the answer will be A. Functional gastrointestinal tract but compromised oral intake. They are unable to take from orally, but the stomach, the gut is functioning. If they are not able to take orally, whether they are unable to swallow, but the digestion is very good, then we give the internal nutrition from the nasogastric tube. So always remember. Here we'll check the options also. Complete gastrointestinal obstruction, we don't provide internal nutrition, we provide here parental nutrition, PPE, PPT, okay, PPN, peripheral nutrition or central peripheral nutrition, okay. And severe liver failure also we don't provide it through the gut because it enters into the liver, then from the liver it will go to the bloodstream. Here also we are not providing that, we provide directly to the intravenous route, that is parental nutrition. Immune deficiency also we don't provide through the nasogastric because there is a risk of infections. For that reason we don't provide it, always remember that. Question number 47. Total parental nutrition TPN bypasses digestive tract, cardiovascular system, respiratory system, lymphatic system. So total parental nutrition in the sense we are providing the food in the intravenous route. So we'll eliminate the options and then go for the answer. The cardiovascular system, it is not related to the parental nutrition. The respiratory system is also not related to the parental nutrition. The lymphatic system is not also related to the parental nutrition. So the answer will be A, digestive tract. They skip the digestive tract, they send the nutrients to the intravenous route in the severe malnourished case or any gastrointestinal obstruction. So always remember that. This is how you need to eliminate the option, then take the answer. Okay. Question number 48. The most common micronutrient deficiency seen in long-term TPN patient is vitamin K deficiency, zinc deficiency, vitamin C, calcium. So always remember, if they have mentioned micronutrient deficiency in the long term of TPN nutrition, total parental nutrition, there will be always be deficiency of zinc. Always remember, you need to correlate micronutrient deficiency in the presence of TPN. Always remember there will be deficiency of zinc. So always remember, if the micronutrient and together we have TPN, then there will be zinc deficiency because it needs to be absorbed from the gut. Okay, if the gut is not functioning, the zinc will not be absorbed and there will be deficiency of zinc. And in some cases there will be deficiency of vitamin K also, because the vitamin K is synthesized in the gut by gut bacteria. Okay, it's synthesized as a vitamin K, menaquinine. Okay, it is synthesized in the gut. There will be deficiency of vitamin K2, but most common is zinc. It is for long term TPN. So the answer will be zinc. Always remember that. Question number 49. Which of the following is a common complication of enteral feeding? Hypernatremia, aspiration pneumonia, hypoglycemia, hypercalcemia. So always remember, if there is enteral feeding and they have mentioned common complication, in this case there will be the food when we send to the tube, there is a chance that the food comes out through the pipe, or the tube is misplaced in the lungs, which is called aspiration pneumonia. Okay, always remember, in this there is a common complication in enteral feeding, that is aspiration pneumonia. Is very important. They will ask if there is no aspiration pneumonia mentioned here. If they have mentioned the infection, go for the infection, and if they have mentioned diarrhea, go for the diarrhea, because in this case there will be this will be the common complication. Which is the common complication? One is the aspiration pneumonia, it is the number one, first one. Okay, the second one will be infections. Okay, the third one will be diarrhea due to the osmolarity or sudden nutrient from the stomach. So these are the three major common complications faced in the enteral feeding. Okay, always remember, there is the aspiration pneumonia is the first one. Question number 50. Refeeding syndrome is characterized by electrolyte imbalance on reintroducing nutrient to severely malnourished patient, overhydration after enteral feeding, hyperglycemia with parental feeding, protein deficiency. So refeeding syndrome is nothing but introducing nutrients at once after long-term malnourished patient. If the patient is malnourished for the long time, and if you provide all nutrients together to him, there will be electrolytic shift in the body, which is very severe. It can lead to death also. In refeeding syndrome, there will be first major nutrient which we focus, major electrolyte, that is phosphate. Phosphorus levels. Phosphate is a major one. If they ask which nutrient we need to monitor in the refeeding syndrome, always stick for the phosphate. It's very, very important. If you don't have phosphate as an option in that, if they mention the magnesium, then go for magnesium. It is also it is second most important mineral will be monitored during the refeeding syndrome. It is very, very important. Here the answer is A, electrolytic imbalance on reintroducing the nutrient to a severely malnourished patient. Okay, the answer will be A. Here the answer is very big, so it is justifying the answer. Just stick for that. Okay. Question number 51. Clostridium botulinum produces neurotoxins, enterotoxins, endotoxins, hemolysis. So here always remember, if there is a bacteria called Clostridium botulinum, it produces neurotoxins which will affect the brain nervous system. So always remember, Clostridium botulinum produces neurotoxins. So the answer will be A. This enterotoxin is produced by the Pseudomonas. This endotoxin is produced by the Salmonella and E. coli, okay, other bacteria. So always remember that. Clostridium botulinum produces neurotoxins. It will affect the brain nervous system. So it's very, very dangerous. Question number 52. Which microorganism is used in yogurt production? Saccharomyces cerevisiae, Lactobacillus bulgarius, Escherichia coli, Staphylococcus aureus. So here the yogurt production, usually the bacteria is involved is lactobacillus. So it is very basic. We are studying from the school that yogurt is produced with the help of lactobacillus bacteria. So the answer will be B, Lactobacillus bulgarius. And there is one more bacteria that will help in yogurt production, that is Lactobacillus thermophilus. Okay, Lactobacillus thermophilus. These are the two major bacteria used in yogurt production, and Lactobacillus bulgarius is the first bacteria. Question number 53. Food spoilage is often caused by parasites, bacteria and molds, viruses, enzymes added to the food. So first eliminate the option food spoilage. We are talking about food spoilage. So enzymes added to the food, it may cause rancidity, but it is not the main reason. Viruses, it doesn't cause food infection, food spoilage, and parasites, it will also not cause food spoilage. The food spoilage is occurred due to the bacteria and molds. Always remember, they replicate in the bacteria and leads to spoilage of the food. Parasite is not the answer, viruses is not the answer, enzymes added to the food is also not the answer. So the answer will be B. If they mention the food spoilage, then always go for the bacteria and the molds. If they ask food intoxication, it is also related to the bacteria and molds. Okay, so for question number 54, the main purpose of food irradiation is to sterilize food completely, reduce pathogens and extend shelf life, change the food color, add flavors. Irradiation nothing but sending radiation or UV radiations to kill the bacteria, okay, and to increase the shelf life. Always remember. So the answer will be B, reduce pathogens and extend the shelf life. Okay, the answer will be complete sterilized food completely is not the answer, because in food irradiation they will suppress the bacteria and extend the life. It can't completely sterilize the food. And change the food color is also not related, add flavor is also not related to the irradiation process. Question number 55. Botulism is associated with improper canned foods, undercooked poultry, raw vegetables, pasteurized milks. So always remember, the botulism is caused due to Clostridium botulinum. Okay, Clostridium botulinum is a bacteria which causes botulism toxins, and this is majorly grown in the canned food, in anaerobic condition. Okay, an anaerobic condition, it is very acidic bacteria. I mean, it can survive in a strong acidic condition also. Even the acidic pH of 3 or 4 also, they can easily survive and grow. So always remember, improperly canned food really leads to botulism toxins. So the answer will be A. If they mention the word canned foods, then always go for the botulism toxins. And undercooked poultry is related to salmonella, and the major bacteria is Campylobacter jejuni. Campylobacter jejuni. And raw vegetables is related to the Aspergillus species like molds, yeast, and bacteria, penicillin, okay, etc. are comes under the Aspergillus species. About this Aspergillus species, I have clearly mentioned in my notes of the food microbiology. I have clearly mentioned here. You can go through it. I will show it to you once. You can go to the PDF of food microbiology. I've clearly mentioned what is the main thing you need to focus, and here majority of them is included here. Everything I have included, all kind of bacteria, clinical significance, and their way of transport, and what food toxication they occurs causes. Okay, see here, can see salmonellosis caused by salmonella. Okay, E. coli food infection, staphylococcus, food poisoning. Everything I have mentioned here, we in detail. It's very short and very precise to understand. You can go through it once. It will be very easy for you to understand. Okay. Now remember, this is how you need to characterize it. And pasteurized milk is related to, if there is milk is not pasteurized, then there will be mostly the bacteria will be Listeria monocytogenes, and other bacteria will be Pseudomonas bacteria is a major cause of unpasteurized milk. In pasteurized milk, usually the bacteria will be killed or inhibited. Okay, the pasteurization process, how they will think, okay, how they will come to know the milk is pasteurized? They measure the phosphate levels in the milk. If they reach a certain point of the phosphorus level, then they consider it is pasteurized milk. Okay, it is very deep topic. I will explain in my future videos. Right now, remember, this is the answer. The answer will be improperly canned food. There are much deeper topic here. If I try to explain it, even 1 hour of the video is not sufficient for the microbiology, because we are it deals with bacteria, pathogens, toxins, everything. So it is very deep topic. In future, I will make in detail videos on each and every topic, but right now we'll go briefly. So, and I will explain you which is very important. Then that's how you can prepare for the exam. Question number 56. The main function of iodine in body is oxygen transport, thyroid hormone synthesis, bone mineralization, enzyme cofactor. These are the very basic question. Iodine is linked to thyroid hormone, so the answer will be thyroid hormone synthesis. Okay, and the oxygen transport is related to the iron and hemoglobin. Okay, bone mineralization is linked to vitamin D and calcium. Enzyme cofactor is zinc acts as an enzyme cofactor, magnesium acts as coenzyme cofactor. So remember that, it's very important. And question number 57, the best indicator for protein energy malnutrition in children is BMI, height for age, weight for height, waist circumference. So always remember, if there is protein energy malnutrition, the child will be thin. Okay, it is the child will be very thin. So usually weight for the height is considered as protein energy malnutrition, PEM status. Height for the age is for the stunting condition. Okay, it is very severe malnourished. Here protein energy malnutrition is related to the weight for the height. BMI is not considered for the protein energy malnutrition. It just an indicator, gives a basic reading of a healthy person or unhealthy person. That's all. Waist circumference in some cases, but it is a majorly used is weight for height. Question number 58. Which vitamin deficiency causes pellagra? This is also very easy question. Just now I explained pellagra is caused to the niacin deficiency, which is called B3. Okay, the answer will be A, niacin. Okay. Question number 59. Oral rehydration therapy ORT primarily replaces carbohydrates, electrolyte and fluids, proteins and fats. If you use little bit common sense, ORS, you here in the question itself you have the answer. Oral rehydration therapy. Rehydration means replenishing your electrolytes, fluid levels. The answer will be electrolytes. It will sometimes it will be very easy, but you need to just relate to the answer with the question. Okay. And question number 60. The ICDS program in India targets health and nutrition of child under 6 and pregnant or lactating women, adult obesity, geriatric care, diabetic management. Diabetic management is not comes under ICDS, Integrated Child Development Scheme, and geriatric also not comes under the ICDS. Adult obesity also will not come under the ICDS. As you can see here, the answer is very big and it is trying to justify what is ICDS. Even if you don't know what is ICDS and the question is, see, you can see the answer, it is very big and it is trying to justify the question. So always stick for the long answer. ICDS is a program, a government initiative where it deals with the malnutrition in children under 6 years of old, 6 years of age and pregnant and lactating women. They provide supplementary nutrition, they provide a basic awareness, everything is done through the ICDS program. So the answer will be A. Question number 61. The energy requirement per kg body weight in infant compared to adult is lower, higher, same, variable with no trends. So remember, the energy requirement per kg body weight in infant is always higher compared to the adult male. Okay, always remember the infant requires lot of energy per kg body weight. So the answer will be B, higher. Okay, always remember because the infant will be hardly 2 or 3 kilos or 4 kilos. We need at least more calories per kg body weight to maintain it. 1 year around 12 months of a child needs at least 1300 calories. Like that, there will be some range which I have clearly mentioned in my notes. You can just go through it once. It will be very easy to understand. Okay, always remember per kg requirement nutrient, the child needs lot of calories per kg, not for the adults. Question number 62. Kavashkar commonly present with this detailedly explained in multiple marathon series, last series and past series also. Always remember, if there is Kavashkar, there will be always edema. Is a major characteristic which you need to find. Edema plus PEM, protein energy malnutrition, severe protein deficiency. Both together, if there is protein deficiency and they have not mentioned edema, then it is called marasmus. Marasmus is a severe caloric deficiency together with the protein deficiency. In the presence of edema, then it is called Kavashkar. The answer will be severe muscle wasting without edema. Sorry. In Kavashkar, we have edema. So edema and fatty liver will be the answer in the Kavashkar. As you can see, if they have mentioned severe muscle wasting with edema, then it will be the answer. If they have mentioned there is no edema, severe muscle wasting without edema is linked to marasmus. Marasmus is the main condition linked to this condition. Here the edema and fatty liver is related to the Kavashkar. Rickets is related to vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin C deficiency causes scurvy, not the Kavashkar. So the answer will be B. Sometimes you need to check the answer and tick the answer. If you hurriedly tick it, because you can see here the answer, half of it is very correct. Just if they remove the out, it could have perfect answer. But just they added the out without edema, then the answer will be changing. But if you are in hurry in the exam and if you find Kavashkar severe muscle wasting, okay, tick it. If you do that, you will get lot of negative marking. First read the question, read the answer and compare the answer to the question, relate it, then only you need to answer it. Until unless, don't go and hurriedly answer it. It will be very it will carry lot of negative marking. Okay. Question number 63. The best way to access malnutrition in elderly is BMI alone, dietary recall only, comprehensive nutrition assessment including biochemical and clinical exam, albumin levels only. It is also very easy question. You could have already guessed it. In the malnutrition adult elderly, BMI will not work. Okay, dietary recall also, they will not be properly eating and they can't do that, and it is not used for the malnourished condition. Okay, albumin levels will finds the protein energy malnutrition, okay, related to the PEM, but not in the malnourished elderly. So the answer will be C, comprehensive nutrition assessment including biochemical and clinical exam. Okay, the question is the answer is big and justifying the answer, then always stick for the bigger answer. That is a simple trick you can use. Question number 64. The recommended duration of exclusive breastfeeding is 6 months, 4 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 12 months. So recently I have also explained in part 1, part 2 series, exclusive breastfeeding should be given for 6 months. Okay, so the answer will be C, 6 months. In this 6 months time period, the infant doesn't need any other nutrients apart from mother's milk. It is very, very important. Question number 65. Which vitamin is critical to prevent anemia in elderly? Vitamin A, vitamin B12, vitamin D, vitamin K. So there are multiple type of anemia which I have explained you, but right now I will go to the brief. I will go briefly. If there is iron deficiency anemia, it is called microcytic anemia. If there is a deficiency of folate, it is called macrocytic anemia. Macrocytic anemia. If there is deficiency of folate or B12, then it is called pernicious anemia. Pernicious anemia. It is also called megaloblastic anemia. This macrocytic anemia is called megaloblastic anemia also. Okay, if there is B12 deficiency, that is called pernicious anemia. It is comes under anemia. So the answer will be B, vitamin B12. Okay, vitamin E is not indicator for the anemia. Vitamin D also not the indicator for the anemia, and vitamin K is also not the indicator for the anemia. So vitamin B12 is the indicator for the anemia, which is precisely called pernicious anemia. Question number 66. The diagnosis of food allergy is confirmed by skin prick test and or specific IgE testing, blood glucose test, complete blood count, urine test. First, we'll eliminate the options first. The urine test is not done to find out the allergic reaction. It is done to find out whether there is any abnormalities in the urinary system or any function, any infection was present. That's how we usually do the urine analysis. So the answer will be no. D is not the answer. And complete blood count is done to find out the what we call infection risk or number of platelets, RBCs and other stuff. So this is also not the answer. And blood glucose test is done to prevent to find out sugar levels. Okay, it is usually done in the diabetic patient. So this is also not the answer. So the answer will be a skin prick test and or specific IgE antigen. Okay. So the answer will be A. The word skin prick, in the sense, suppose imagine this is your skin. Okay, here they will inject the allergen little bit on the just subcutaneous layer of the skin and leave it for some time. They will observe whether you will having the severe reaction or whether you are not having the reaction. Based on that, the allergen will be found. So this is called skin prick test. Okay, I hope you understood. And the IgE testing is a IgE. They will test the IgE antibodies in the blood to find out you have allergic reaction or not. And there is multiple kind of test which uses to find food allergies, like skin patch test. Okay, patch test where you apply a small amount of allergen to the skin. Okay, to the skin and leave it for some time. They will find out there will be some rashes or some kind of reaction happening on the skin. That is called patch test. Okay, and there is another test called it is gold standard for the food allergic test, that is introducing a allergen in the presence of what you call in the presence of a specialist, in doctor or dietitian, in the presence of them, introducing a small amount of allergen to find out whether the allergen is a whether there is allergy or not. It is called I think I forgot the name. It is called, so the gold standard for the allergic reaction is oral oral challenge test. They introduce small amount of allergen through the orally in the presence of a expert or a specialist, and they find out allergic reaction. It is called gold standard for the allergic reaction. What is the gold standard for the allergic reaction? It is the oral challenge. It's called gold standard for the allergic test, finding food allergic reactions. Always remember, if they ask what is the gold standard for the finding allergic reactions, food allergic reactions, then it is called oral challenge test. It is done in the presence of our expert or a specialist. Question number 67. Which of the nutrient is most implicated in celiac disease damage? Lactose, gluten, casein, fructose. This is also a very basic question. We have, this question is repeated multiple times. The celiac disease is related to the gluten intolerance. Okay, gluten intolerance. So here the answer will be B, gluten. Gluten is a wheat protein which causes irritation in the gut, which is called as celiac disease. Okay, in this celiac disease, we avoid wheat and gluten containing products. Question number 68. Eosinophilic esophagitis is the most commonly related to food allergies, viral infections, bacterial infections, parasitic infections. About this eosinophilic esophagitis, I have detailedly mentioned in my part 2 of marathon series. You can just go and watch it. There I have detailedly explained what is the type of allergy reactions, what is eosinophilic esophagitis. But here I will go a little bit briefer for you. Eosinophilic esophagitis is a infection, or it is an allergic reaction happens in the esophagus. Okay, it happens in the esophagus region. Whenever you consume a food which has a allergic reaction, it causes inflammation in the esophagus. That is called eosinophilic esophagitis. So it is done due to the food allergic reaction, not the viral infection, not the bacterial infection, not the parasitic infection. It happens only in the due to the food allergic reaction. Okay, it is also called non-IgE mediated reaction. What is IgE mediated reaction? What is non-IgE mediated reaction? I have detailedly mentioned in my part 2 of my marathon series. You can go and watch it out, or else you can just go to the PDF which containing food allergic reactions and food allergic reaction and management. There I have detailedly mentioned what is non-IgE mediated and what is IgA mediated. Is nothing. Non-IgA mediated reaction is nothing but there is no IgE antibody released in the body, okay, which causes allergic reaction. IgE mediated allergic reaction in the sense there is a presence of IgE mediated allergic antigen which is present in the body and which is harming yourself and which is causing the food allergic reaction. So that is the simple meaning of that. To know the detail, just go and read it once. It will be very easy to understand. Question number 69. Anaphylaxis is characterized by delayed mild allergic reaction, severe immediate hypersensitivity reaction, viral infection, chronic lung disease. Always remember, anaphylaxis is a severe reaction, severe allergic reaction. It is a quick allergic reaction. Okay, it's very quick. If you just smell or test the allergic reaction which causes a severe anaphylaxis. In the sense, in this anaphylaxis, there will be death also can be happening because of the severe allergic reaction. It is very quick. It is caused due to the T cells of the antibodies, and where it attacks your immune system and causes the severe allergic reaction. This allergic reaction happens due to in the presence of histamines. About these histamines and what is the anaphylaxis, I have detailedly explained in a part 2 of marathon series, part 2 and part 1. I think you can just go back and watch it once again. I have detailedly cleared it, and you can go to the PDF, same food allergic PDF. I have detailedly mentioned that. That's enough to understand what is anaphylaxis and types of reactions that happening. So always remember, if the word anaphylaxis comes, it is a quick severe allergic reactions. So the answer will be severe immediate hypersensitivity reaction. Okay. Question number 70. The elimination diet helps to lose weight rapidly, identify causative food allergens or intolerance, increase calcium intake, provide high protein diet. Always remember, if the word comes with a word called elimination diet in the sense, in the word itself they are telling we are eliminating some amount of food or some amount of ingredient from the diet. That is called elimination diet. If you have allergic to the peanuts, remove the peanuts. If you have allergic to the wheat or gluten, remove the gluten. That's all, simple thing. If there is any kind of allergic reaction to a specific nutrient, remove the nutrient. That is called elimination diet. So the answer will be B. Identify causative food allergens or intolerance and remove it. Okay, once you found out this is your reaction, this is your nutrient which is causing allergic reaction, then remove that. That is called elimination diet. Question number 71. The function of HDL cholesterol is deposit cholesterol in arteries, remove cholesterol from bloodstream, provide energy, transport RBCs. First, understand what is HDL cholesterol. HDL cholesterol is high density lipoprotein. Okay, high density lipoprotein. Whenever if you see a structural form of HDL, the molecule, in this molecule, the molecule is empty. There is nothing inside that molecule. These cholesterol molecules travel to the blood, and if there is an artery, here you have the cholesterol molecules staying here, which is called LDL or other triglycerides. These molecules break this molecule and take it inside of the molecule. Okay, now there is a fatty molecule inside the HDL because of the high density cholesterol. These high density HDL cholesterol molecules travel and transport it to the liver for synthesis, where it will convert into the other fatty acids and use it as an energy or other physiological process. This is how HDL decreases the cholesterol. We always tell high amount of HDL is helpful, high amount of HDL decrease the LDL cholesterol, bad cholesterol. How it is, how it will decrease, in the sense, this is how it will decrease. It is very in-depth topic. I'll talk to in a different video or something, because it is a very large video. Right now, remember, HDL is an empty molecule. It's an empty bus. It goes to the arteries or the part of the body where there is a lot of cholesterol. It carries that cholesterol in the bus and take the bus through the liver. And in the liver, the fat synthesis happens. Okay, that's how actually the HDL decreases the LDL levels in the body. Okay, I hope you understand this. So here the answer will be remove cholesterol from the bloodstream is the answer. Okay, deposit cholesterol in arteries is not work of HDL, it is a work of LDL. Okay, and provide energy, it is not the work of cholesterol, it is a work of carbohydrate, protein and fats through the diet. And transport RBCs is the work of HB. Okay, hemoglobin. So this is also not the work, hemoglobin and circulation blood. Okay, this is also not the option of the not the function of the HDL cholesterol. So the answer will be remove cholesterol from the bloodstream. Question number 72. Xerophthalmia is caused by deficiency of vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E. So this is also a very basic question. Xerophthalmia is a condition called color blindness or night blindness. Sorry, night blindness. Okay, xerophthalmia is a condition of night blindness. During the night times, the person can't visually see some objects or some colors. So this is called night blindness. It is caused due to the vitamin A deficiency. Vitamin A deficiency causes xerophthalmia. What is vitamins A? Normal. What is called? The other name of vitamin A is retinol. Okay, retinol. Retinol is a bioactive compound of vitamin A. This retinol helps in eye health. It is also helpful in it will help in eye health. Okay, it produces rhodopsin. This rhodopsin causes to maintain the color accuracy in the eye. And this, if they remember what is the storage form of vitamin A, then it is called retinol ester. Retinol ester. Okay, retinol ester is the storage form of vitamin A. It is stored in the liver. Okay, vitamin A is majorly stored in the liver as a form of retinol ester. Always remember that. In this, the question may also be formed. It's very important. Okay. Question number 73. The resting metabolic rate RMR primarily depends on age and sex, physical activity only, carbohydrate intake, fiber intake. So first understand what is resting metabolic rate. Resting metabolic rate in the sense the amount of energy required when you are in the rest position. Right now I am sitting. If I am not talking, if I am not doing anything, that is called rest position. In this rest position, body needs some amount of energy, some amount of calories to do the physiological functions like breathing, heartbeat, circulation, hormone regulations, all of the other function of the body. It is called resting metabolic rate. It is totally depend. If you start moving, if I get up and move around, if I run, then it comes into the physical activity. So the resting metabolic rate is primarily depend on physical and activity level only. Okay, always remember physical and activity level only. If I move, the resting metabolism rate increases. If I stay here, my resting metabolism is here. If I start moving, my metabolism rises up. Okay, that's how it is, depends on physical activity. So the answer will be okay. Question number 74. Minerals needed for thyroid hormone synthesis includes calcium, magnesium, iodine, selenium, potassium, sodium, iron and zinc. So these are the very basic question. Whenever there is a thyroid hormone or thyroid gland present, we always link it to the iodine. It's a basic one. Okay, and here we can see iodine and selenium is present. Selenium is also helpful in thyroid hormone synthesis. Okay, it will make thyroid hormone very sensitive in the presence of selenium. So always remember iodine and selenium is the thyroid hormone synthesis. It will help in thyroid hormone synthesis. Even if you don't know what is selenium, just include there is a iodine. So iodine is directly related here. Together iodine there is a selenium. Then always stick for the answer. So question number 75. Which nutrient boosts iron absorption? This is also a very easy question. Just we have discussed it in this video itself. Phytates, vitamin C, polyphenols, calcium. So here the nutrient which boosts the iron absorption is vitamin C. In the presence of ascorbic acid, vitamin C, the iron absorption increases in the blood and which leads to a good amount of RBCs in the blood and causes and prevents anemia. So this is the answer. Phytates inhibits the absorption. Polyphenols also will decrease the absorption. Calcium also is not helpful in the absorption process of the iron. Question number 76. A diabetic patient wants to control postprandial blood sugar level, blood sugar spike. The best advice is to eat high glycemic index food, include low glycemic index foods with the fiber, avoid all carbohydrate, increase saturated fat intake. First, eliminate the option. So here they have asked diabetic patient and wants to control postprandial blood sugar levels. Okay, or whenever you think about the diabetic patient, we always link it to the sugar levels, whatever, and carbohydrate especially. So here check with the options first. Increase saturated fat, it is not recommended because it will increase the cholesterol levels. So it is not related to the blood sugar levels. And avoid all carbohydrates. We don't avoid all carbohydrates because we need carbohydrates to survive for the energy. But the carbohydrate level will be less compared to a normal individual. And eat high glycemic index food also we not recommend because high glycemic index food spikes the blood glucose level so fast, so high. So it is not recommended. We have only one option, that is include low glycemic index food with the fiber. Fiber decreases the flow of digestion and it increases the glucose level spike in the blood very slowly. So for that reason we include fiber also, and low glycemic index food has a capacity to not spike the glucose too high. So the answer will be B. Include low glycemic index food with fiber. Okay, so the answer will be B. Question number 77. The premature infant requires supplementation of iron and calcium, folate only water, vitamin K only. So always remember there is an only. Then most of the premature infant requires calcium and iron to grow and to grow the bone density, to grow the blood volume in the body. So we always need iron and calcium. Okay. Folate only is not recommended because anyhow during the pregnancy the mother will be taking the folate, so it's not the answer. Only water is also not the answer. Vitamin K, if there is blood loss, if there is some kind of disease condition in infant, there will be a chance to provide vitamin K also, but here in the question they are asking supplementation. The vitamin K will not be the answer, so the answer will be iron and calcium. Calcium helpful in the bone growth and iron helps in the increasing the blood levels in the body. Question number 78. An elderly patient with osteoporosis will benefit from a diet rich in vitamin D and calcium, vitamin C and iron, vitamin A and B12, protein and sodium. So always remember, if there is word is osteoporosis, always it will be linked to vitamin D and calcium levels. And the person is elderly. In elderly people, there is always deficiency of vitamin D and calcium. Vitamin D is deficient due to they won't be going outside for a long time, so there will be vitamin D deficiency. And calcium also, there will, in the presence of vitamin D only, calcium cannot be absorbed very well. Okay, it goes side by side. They both are brothers. Okay, in the presence of vitamin D, calcium levels absorption will be increasing. So the answer will be A, vitamin D and calcium. Always remember, if they ask the question which vitamin increases the absorption of calcium, it will be vitamin D. Question number 79. For a patient with a peptic ulcer, which food should be avoided? Milk, spicy and acidic food, bread, rice. About this peptic ulcer, I have detailedly talked in my part 1 of my marathon series. You can go and watch it. Types of ulcers I have talked there, where the ulcer will be present and what the condition you will face. And okay, like that I have detailedly explained that. You can go further. In the peptic ulcer, there will be some ulcers in the stomach. Okay, suppose this is the stomach. Okay, there is some peptic ulcer here. When the food passes, there will be releasing of HCl, which leads to burning sensation of the peptic ulcer, which causes a lot of pain. And by including the spicy food also, it will got lot of irritation. So the answer will be spicy and acidic food should be avoided. Okay, we need a bland diet. In this case, spicy and acidic food will not be given. Question number 80. A patient on TPN develops hypophosphatemia. This is likely due to excess phosphate in the solution, refeeding syndrome, infection, vitamin deficiency. So always remember, then the patient of TPN develops hypophosphatemia. Whenever there is a hypophosphatemia and there is a word called refeeding syndrome, introducing a nutrient, total nutrients at once causes refeeding syndrome. And in this refeeding syndrome, there will be always low phosphate levels. We have to maintain low phosphate levels accurately, or else there will be a lot of severe complications in the body. Okay, so the answer will be B, refeeding syndrome. Okay, in excess phosphate in the solution we don't provide it. And infection, there will be some infection but not the main answer here, because they are asking hypophosphatemia, low phosphate levels. Vitamin deficiency is not related only. So in the refeeding syndrome there will always be phosphate levels decreasing. Whenever a patient goes into malnourished for a long time and they are providing a lot of nutrients at once, it is called refeeding syndrome. In this refeeding syndrome, the phosphate levels go down. It is a very severe condition, a very severe condition. Always remember, if the question asks which vitamin or which nutrient is reduced in the which electrolyte is we should monitor during the refeeding syndrome, then always go for the phosphorus. If the phosphate is not there, the second important mineral is magnesium. About this I have talked in my past videos also. You can recall it once. Okay, and about this I have detailedly mentioned in my series notes. You can just go through it once. Okay, there is a revision questions from the last part 1, part 2 questions, part 2 marathons. It will be very helpful for you to remember. Question number 81. Kawashkar primarily results from protein deficiency, carbohydrate deficiency, fat deficiency, vitamin deficiency. So always remember, whenever there is a Kawashkar, it is caused due to protein deficiency. Okay, and together protein deficiency, it has edema. Always remember, if the presence of edema, then it is called Kawashkar. Edema is a clinical sign of Kawashkar. So the answer will be A, protein deficiency. Okay. Question number 82. Iron deficiency anemia symptoms includes jaundice, pallor and fatigue, dry skin, night blindness. So this question I have already discussed in my past videos. When there is iron deficiency anemia, the person will be feeling very fatigue and low energy levels. It is called pallor and fatigue. Okay, the answer will be B. Question number 83. In metabolic acidosis, the pH, blood pH is increase greater than 7.45, decrease less than 7.35, normal 7.4, variable. This type of question I have discussed in the past videos also, but here I will go through briefly. The normal pH of the blood is 7.4. If the blood pH drops, then it is called metabolic acidosis. If the blood pH increases from 7.4, then it is called metabolic alkalosis. Okay. There is a basic thing you need to know. When there is metabolic acidosis and metabolic alkalosis, our liver and our lungs and kidneys balance it out by excreting bicarbonates or holding carbonates. So it's a very detailed topic. I will cover in my later videos. Right now, you need to know if the pH of 7.4 is less than 7.4, that is called acidosis. If the pH is more than 7.4, that is called alkalosis. So here, according to the question, in metabolic acidosis, blood pH is decreased less than 7.35. So the answer will be B. Question 84. Vitamin K deficiency results in poor wound healing, bleeding tendency, anemia, bone deformities. Regarding this vitamin K, okay, I have detailedly mentioned in my notes. It's very easy, and I think I have discussed in my part 1 of my series also. This vitamin K is helpful in blood clotting. Okay, blood clotting is a major function of the vitamin K. Poor handling is not related to the vitamin K deficiency. It may relate, but not completely. And anemia is not related. Bone deformity is also not related. So here the bleeding tendency. If there is deficiency of vitamin K, there will be no stoppage of bleeding, no clot formation. It leads to a lot of bleeding also. So the answer will be B. Question number 85. The ABCD approach in nutrition assessment stands for airway, breathing, circulation, defibrillation, anthropometric, biochemical, clinical, dietary, analysis, balance, check, diagnosis, assessment, budget, calculation, delivery. So this is very basic question. ABCD is nothing but anthropometric, biochemical, clinical, dietary. So the answer will be B. We use ABCD to evaluate as a and do a nutritional status assessment. Okay, so the answer will be B. We'll discuss some amount of match the following questions. Okay, they have given vitamin C, vitamin K, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and they have given the options here: blood clotting, antioxidant properties, collagen synthesis, calcium absorption, vision. So vitamin C is a which is helpful in collagen synthesis. Okay, and vitamin K, it's very easy, blood clotting. Just now I have talked. Okay, and vitamin A helps in vision. That just spoke in my previous questions. So vitamin D helps in calcium absorption. These also have explained in detail. Vitamin E is a potent antioxidant. So these are the matching should be there. Okay. The next question of the match the following: niacin, vitamin C, iodine, vitamin D, iron. And we'll check the answers here: pellagra, scurvy, goiter, rickets, anemia. As you can see, niacin is related to pellagra. We have the answer here. Vitamin C is deficiency of vitamin C causes scurvy. Deficiency of iodine causes goiter. Vitamin D deficiency causes rickets, and iron deficiency causes anemia. Okay, it's there itself. And the question they have asked: match the nutrients with the primary deficiency diseases. So you need to read the question also before answering it. Next, match the following question: match the organ with its major functions. So they have given the organs here and they have given the functions here. We need to match it out. So liver, kidney, pancreas, stomach and lungs. So we'll start with liver. Liver is very easy thing because liver helps in detoxification. So you can link to the liver detoxification. And kidney helps in filtration of blood and formation of urine. So the kidney is linked to A. And pancreas produces digestive enzymes and insulin. So it will link it to the C. And stomach, it helps in mechanical digestion and chemical digestion also. So stomach is related to the mechanical and digestion process. And lungs helps in exchange of gases. Okay. This is how you need to match it clearly by reading the question. Question number 4 of match the following. Match the dietary component with that correct energy yielding kilocalorie per gram. So they have given the nutrients, and they have given the energy from each nutrients. So we have to match it. So it's basic thing. Carbohydrate gives you 4 kilocalories. Protein gives you 4 kilocalories. Fat gives you 9 kilocalories. Alcohol gives you 7 kilocalories. Okay, and fiber gives you 0 kilocalories. So you can match it out. Carbohydrate 4, protein 4, fat 9, alcohol 7, fiber 0. Okay. Question number 5 of match the following. Match the enzymes with macronutrient its digest. So they have given the enzymes and they have given the nutrients that enzymes helps to digest. So here they have given the enzymes and here they have given the nutrients with which the enzyme will act on that and break the molecules in digestion. So amylase, always remember, if the word last ends with amylase, then it is always related to the carbohydrate metabolism. And lipase, it is related to the fat breakdown. And protease is related to the breakdown of protein. Lactase is a breakdown of lactose sugar molecule, and pepsin helps in the digestion of protein. Okay, by activating pepsinogen, by activating pepsin from pepsinogen. Okay, keep it done. You remember this. Question number 6. Match the term with its correct definitions. They have given the terms and they have given the definitions here. You need to match the definitions. Homeostasis, glycogen, ATP, anemia, RDA. So they have given maintenance of stable internal environment, storage form of carbohydrate in humans, energy currency molecule of the cell, deficiency of red blood cells or hemoglobin, average nutrient intake, sufficient for most healthy individual. So it is matching equally. Homeostasis is a maintenance of stable internal environment. Glycogen is a storage form of energy. Always remember, it is a primary storage form of energy. It is a primary storage form of energy. It is not long-term storage. It is a primary storage. Long-term storage of energy is fat. Okay, always remember that. It is very, very important. This type of questions will be asked in the AIIMS. ATP is the energy currency of body. It is very easy. Anemia is deficiency of red blood cells. Is also easy. RDA is average nutrient intake for sufficient for most healthy individuals. Question number 7. Match the nutrient with its main dietary source. They have given the nutrients and there is a dietary source in that. We have to match it. Omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin B12, dietary fiber, complete protein, calcium, fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, animal products, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, egg, dairy, meat, soya, dairy products, leafy greens. So I think it's matching equally. Omega-3 fatty acids are abundant in fish source, marine source. Always remember, compared to vegetarian source, it has a very high profile of omega-3 fatty acids in salmon and mackerel fish. And vitamin B12 is not present in vegetarian source. Okay, it is only present in animal sources. So animal products like meat, dairy, etc. And dietary fibers helps in digestion, and this dietary fiber is available in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. And complete protein is the protein which contains all 20 essential amino acids. It's called complete protein. So egg is considered as complete protein, dairy, meat, soya is considered as complete protein. And calcium is present in dairy products, leafy greens. Okay. Question number 8. Match the disease with appropriate dietary conditions, recommendations. They have given the diseases here and they have given the condition, what we need to avoid, or what dietary recommendation or approaches we need to follow. Celiac disease, hypertension, gout, diabetes, and lactose intolerance. This we have talked many times. Celiac disease is a intolerance for the gluten. Hypertension is related to the sodium intake, high blood pressure. Gout is a crystals, uric crystals forming near the bones joints. Diabetes is a high blood sugar level. Lactose is a lactose intolerance. Lactose intolerance in the sense is unable to digest lactose sugar molecule in the body due to the lactase enzyme deficiency. So we'll match it. Celiac disease is related to gluten free diet. Okay, hypertension is related to DASH diet, dietary approach for hypertension. Okay, low sodium diet. It is called low sodium diet. Gout is a low purine diet. Purine in the sense that there is a pyrimidines and one pentose group. Okay, it comes under nucleic acids. If there is lot of purines, there will be a high amount of urea crystals forming in the blood, and it stores in the joints of the bone, and it causes pain. So it is called gout. So diabetes is low glycemic index diet. We need to follow low glycemic index diet. Lactose intolerance, we need to follow lactose free diet. Okay, this is a basic thing. It's very easy, but sometimes you will get confused in that. Match the biochemical cycles with its main role. So they have given the cycles and they have given the role. Mostly it is matching together. So we'll discuss one by one. Krebs cycle is helpful in energy production. Urea cycle helpful in ammonia detoxification and converts into urea, and this urea is excreted from the kidney. Always remember, urea cycle occurs in liver, not in the kidney. Many people will confuse the urea is related to the kidney. It synthesizes in the kidney, but not. Kidney excretes the urea, not synthesize it or detoxifies it. Then the Cori cycle, it related to lactate conversion to the glucose. I have clearly explained this. If there is a muscle, this is a muscle tissue, and this is the blood, and this is the liver. Okay, from the muscle, if there is rapid movement, anaerobic respiration happens in the glycolysis, produce lactate. This lactate is produced from the pyruvate in the presence of lactate dehydrogenase enzyme. Okay, lat D, we can mention that, and this is enters into the blood. From the blood, this lactase goes to the liver, and here also the same enzyme works and converts the lactate to pyruvate, and the liver converts into the glucose. This glucose is again pumped back into the blood. This blood again travels to the muscle. This is called Cori cycle. I think you have understood it. I have detailedly explained in past video also. This is how simple Cori cycle means: converting lactate into the and converting it to the glucose. That's all. So beta oxidation is a fat oxidation, fatty acid breakdown, and gluconeogenesis is the conversion of non-carbohydrate conversion of energy from the non-carbohydrate source. The production of glucose from the non-carbohydrate. So it is a gluconeogenesis. Always remember that. The question number 10: match the test statistical terms with its meaning. So they have given some test and they have given the meaning here. So sensitivity, specificity, median, p-values, correlation, coefficient. First we'll match it out. Sensitivity in the sense the test which proves there is a positive result. It is called sensitivity, high sensitivity. It is a very high sensitivity to the test. By just doing the test we can get to know the result. So it is called sensitivity. So you can see here the ability to identify the true positives. Always remember, sensitive in the sense positive. You can find the result by just one test. And specificity is the ability to identify true negative. It's not too sensitive, is specificity. The ability to identify true negatives, in the sense the test will find out the negative part. Here the sensitivity targets the positive, the specificity targets the negative. And median, I just explained past video also. Median is a middle value. Okay, in this video also I have explained it is a median value. And p-value is a probability that result occurs by chance. P in the sense probability of value, that the results occurs by chance. Okay, always remember that. And correlation coefficient is a measure of relationship between strength and direction. Okay, it will show the relationship between strength and direction. Okay, always remember this is a correlation coefficient. Then question number 11: match the type of feeding with the description or use. They have given the feeding here and they have given the description here. So enteral nutrition, parenteral nutrition, total parenteral nutrition, and peripheral parenteral nutrition, and nasogastric feeding. So enteral nutrition is given through the tube to the gastrointestinal tract. So when there is a functioning GI, we usually prefer enteral nutrition. So they're feeding via GI tract or oral or nasogastric. Parenteral nutrition is given when there is no function of GI tract. So it is given to the intravenous route. So it is called feeding via intravenous route. Total parenteral nutrition is a complete IV nutrition with all macro and micronutrients. Okay, and peripheral nutrition is given from the smaller veins, like peripheral from the hand or anything. Central means they will give from the jugular vein. So the answer will be D. Okay, IV nutrient via peripheral veins. Nasogastric means they send the tube from the nose and to the stomach. So feeding the tube, inserting via nose to stomach. This is called nasogastric. This is a basic one, but you need to remember. Sometimes you will make a lot of mistakes here. Question number 12. Match the microorganism with related foodborne illness. So they have given the microorganisms here and they have given the food related spoilage. So always remember, salmonella is always related to the undercooked eggs and poultry infection. Okay, always remember. And there is one more bacteria is Campylobacter jejuni. Campylobacter jejuni is a major bacteria. If they both answer mentioned here in the options, always stick for the Campylobacter jejuni. And if there is only salmonella, go for the salmonella, because this type of question is asked in RRB. They have mentioned Campylobacter and salmonella together, and this RRB removed that answer, the question itself, because both are correct. We can't judge it. But if you want to judge it, then Campylobacter is a major microorganism, then salmonella. But both are correct. So many people will confuse from salmonella and Campylobacter. So the RRB removed the question itself. I will show you to here itself. I think I have the paper or anything. And this previous year question paper will be uploaded in the drive. So this is the RRB paper. If you go down, yeah, you can see here. You can see here. They have given which of the following. So they have given which of the following pathogens is most commonly associated with contaminated poultry and can cause gastrointestinal distress in humans. Here the Salmonella and Campylobacter jejuni both are the answer, but the main answer is Campylobacter jejuni, which I have ticked before. And before the before this final PDF, they have given one answer sheet before the results. So in that, Campylobacter is the right answer. But in some cases, Salmonella is also a correct answer. So they have removed the question itself. So for this question, the discrepancy is found in question or answer. So this question is ignored for all candidates. So they have removed the answer. They removed the question itself. So don't worry, even if the question is wrong and if you try to attempt, the AIIMS will remove the questions like RRB. Okay, don't worry in that. So just try to attempt it, that's all. Okay, now we'll come back to the theory, and this past year RRB question paper will be uploaded in the drive. You can look it from there. Okay, you can go through it once. Then we have Clostridium botulinum. I've just told you here in the bacteria itself there is a botulinum. It causes botulism. Okay, it's an improper canned food. It produces neurotoxin, damages the brain. So always remember, it is very crucial. And this Clostridium botulinum can survive in high acidic environment. Okay, and it can survive high heat condition also. Then Listeria monocytogenes is a major bacteria involved in soft cheese, ready to eat meats. Okay, ready to eat meats and soft cheese is a major bacteria in Campylobacter jejuni. Okay, sorry, Listeria monocytogenes. And Escherichia coli is a major bacteria in the fecal contamination, which related to the fecal contamination and raw meats, veggies. Okay, it travels from the fecal contamination, spoils the raw meat, undercooked beef and veggies. In Staphylococcus aureus, it's a food handling process producing toxins. Staphylococcus aureus produces exotoxins. Okay, these toxins are very dangerous, and it is transferred from the food handling process. Okay, you need to remember, study this bacteria which I have mentioned in the notes. It's very easy. Study the bacteria and the food that they spoil, but that's more than enough. Don't need to study incubation period, mode of transfer. It's we just study once, but remember the bacteria and the food it is affecting on. Question number 13. Match the public health program with its target population or focus on or focuses. So they have given the some public intervention programs, and they have given the target. Okay, they have given the programs and they have given the target. So ICDS is an integrated child developmental scheme. It deals with the children under 6 years age and pregnant women, pregnant females. Okay, they provide supplementary nutrition, they provide awareness and supplements, etc. And midday meal scheme, I have talked multiple times, it's very important. Midday meal scheme is introduced in targets the school going children to increase their malnutrition status, to decrease their malnutrition status, and to increase the school attendance. And national vitamin A supplementation deficiency is given for the children under 5 to prevent the risk of eye problems, visionary problems. And nutrition iron plus initiative is given for the pregnant women and lactating women and children to prevent anemia, because they are more prone to anemia compared to other people. Okay, and there is one more, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. It is a universal elementary education where we teach about the basic sanitary practices, etc. Here this is the main Abhiyan conducted by the Government of India. And question number 14, which diseases with causative deficiency or condition? So they have given the diseases here and they have causes or deficiencies. Pellagra is very easy. I have talking multiple times because it is very important. Pellagra question can be asked. So pellagra is related to the niacin deficiency. Beriberi is related to the thiamine deficiency. If there is thiamine deficiency, then the disease condition is called beriberi. And scurvy is related to the vitamin C deficiency. Scurvy is nothing but bleeding gums. Rickets is a deficiency of vitamin D deficiency. Rickets is a condition which occurs in the children's. Okay, and Kawashkar, I have told you, it is a protein energy malnutrition disorder. So it causes due to protein deficiency. And here the main characteristic of Kawashkar is edema. Okay, always remember edema. Then question number 15, match food allergy or allergens with the common sources. So they have given the allergens and they have given the common food sources which may cause the allergen. For the lactose intolerance, we avoid lactose sugar. So we avoid milk and dairy products. And gluten allergy, celiac disease, I have spoke it before itself. So we avoid wheat and barley rye which contains gluten protein. And peanut allergy, we avoid peanuts and peanut products, etc. Peanut butter, etc. Everything, and every peanut product will be avoided. And casein allergy, we avoid milk protein. Casein is a milk protein present in the milk. Okay. And nut allergy, we avoid tree nuts, almonds, walnuts, etc. So there we avoid it. So about these allergen reactions I have clearly mentioned in my notes. You can go to the notes and check it out. So yeah, that's all for today. I hope I have cleared many of your doubts and gone through many of the questions and try to explain it. Okay, this AIIMS doesn't ask you the difficult questions. It will ask you the tricky questions. Just I have previously explained you how they will ask. So prepare it well, because there will be less time, and in that time you will be feeling so stressed, and sometimes you will put a wrong answer also. If you don't know the answer, leave the answer. And if you are not sure of the answer, tick the answer which is big and that justifies the question. Then only you tick it, or else don't try it at all. So by just, if you want to try, you can go up to 7 questions. You can just guess 7 questions, not more than that, because you will face lot of negative marking. So please avoid that. And if you want the notes, you can scan this QR code and pay $8.99, and you can send this screenshot to my WhatsApp number. Our team will be contacting you and will share the drive link, where in the drive you will get notes and 5000 MCQs, and also previous year question papers will be uploaded there. The RRB question paper and DSSP question paper also will be uploaded in the drive. You can check it out. Okay, and you can practice that, and you can get to know what is the pattern that government asks you and how you need to prepare. So until then, we will meet in the next video, and all the best for your exams.